Welcome to the WPL Book Drop Podcast. I'm your host, Seth Thill, library assistant in the Waterloo Public Library, who is currently training to be able to slam dunk a basketball at age 28 for the first time, and has around a 75% free throw percentage. Joining us today is Jessica Rucker. Jessica is the executive director at Main Street Waterloo. Jessica originally comes from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and is 10 and a half years older than her younger sibling, and they are still the best of friends. Welcome, Jessica.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I think you've been on the show before with one of our past guests, way back, sounds like 2020-ish or so.
When we all started doing podcasts.
Yes, yeah, everyone started doing podcasts. Feels very weird to call 2020 way back ago, but here we are in 2023. So since it's been a while, could you talk just a little bit generally about what Main Street Waterloo does and what you do as executive director?
Definitely. So Main Street Waterloo is a nonprofit organization, and we are pretty much volunteer driven currently. I am the only paid staff member, so I would say 99.9% volunteer driven. We work to revitalize downtown Waterloo. Our specific goals are historic renovation, economic development, and community engagement. Most people know us for a lot of the events we host. Basically anything with Lou on the back end of the name is something that we host, but we definitely host several other ones as well. And that part of what we do is helping with the community engagement, and it also serves as our fundraising for our organization to be able to operate. But we work with the small businesses to make sure they're successful. We recruit businesses to come in and fill those vacant storefronts, and then we work with businesses and property owners on the exterior renovations, signage, outdoor seating, and kind of the overall aesthetics of downtown Waterloo.
Awesome. First of all, I just want to thank you and the organization for everything you do, because it's a lot of really awesome work, and like you said, mostly volunteer driven, which is amazing that so many people are motivated to do this for their community. So I will drop the information in the episode description as well. If you are interested at home in volunteering with Main Street Waterloo, we will put out that information. So it sounds like you have kind of a lot of eggs in your basket at all times, a lot of different things that Main Street is, that the organization is involved with. What is your favorite thing that you get to do?
That's tough because I love my job. When I applied for this job and started, I knew it was going to be amazing and I was going to be able to make an impact on the community. But as I've learned my job more and continued in this profession, I realized it was my dream job that I never realized was going to be my dream job. I knew I wanted to give back to the community, volunteer, and work for a nonprofit. And this has just been amazing and opened my eyes to so many things. I would say two of the things that I love the most is just it's the same day, or it's not the same every day. There is something different literally every day. And then just being able to help the small businesses and those business owners is just so rewarding, and it warms my heart. I mean, I'm so very empathetic with them. Yeah. They call me and vent to me, and I feel their pain when they're having those wins. I'm like one of their cheerleaders, and it's just been really amazing to see their successes and try to help them continue.
Yeah, I think that's what's so fantastic about doing that community work like this, like building community in a mid-sized city like in Iowa, and being able to really see those tangible impacts is so great. And I'm glad you get to do all of that work. So I feel very similarly about working at the library. With something that I didn't necessarily always plan on, but you see the ways you're able to kind of give back to the community. And again, if you would like to feel any of these things, please volunteer with Main Street Waterloo. Just being able to see that immediate impact is so great. And speaking of, so we talked a little bit then about some of the events that you've done, or that you do. A big part of what Main Street Waterloo does is kind of programming and events. And that's partially what we're here to talk about today, is we have a big one coming up, which is Winter Wonderloo. That will be kicking off next Friday the 24th. I think I have that, or it's Friday the 25th.
It's technically Saturday the 25th. But I mean, let's be honest. I feel like we've started celebrating the holiday season already. So
pretty much, it gets earlier. The Christmas stuff kind of kicked out Halloween stuff even a little bit this year.
With the weather, we host our trick or treating the Saturday closest to Halloween, and so on Halloween, with how cold it was, I was going from meeting to meeting, and I was seeing businesses Halloween stuff down, Christmas stuff up, because like, Halloween's done in downtown, let's go.
Just do it, yeah. I mean, whatever works out. I'm not too much of a stickler about it. But anyway, can you just tell us a little bit of the kind of the history of this event, how long it's been going on, and kind of how it's been received over the years in Waterloo?
So we definitely want to celebrate the holiday season in downtown. Winter Wonderloo has definitely had a lot of different iterations the entire time of our history of our organization. There used to be some light parades, like where people would put together floats with all these Christmas lights on them. And, as the economy has changed and as the different events throughout the community have changed, some things have changed. What we really have going on at this point is our friends over at Experience Waterloo and the destination tourism branch of Waterloo, they are now hosting Waterloo Lights the Night, and that'll be on Saturday, November 25th, and that'll be where Santa arrives in downtown, the tree lighting, as well as fireworks and a lot of fun stuff going on. And that's when things really kick off and Winter Wonderloo takes off. So we'll have the mailbox, Santa's mailbox will arrive, and so kiddos can mail a letter to Santa. And if the address is included, they might just get a letter back from Santa, which is a lot of fun. I've talked to some of the parents and the kiddos afterwards, like they may have come to see Santa and Santa remembered some of their conversations and were able to put it in the letter. So it's just been heartwarming to see that. And we'll have hot cocoa and cookies and Santa every Saturday in downtown from that Saturday through Christmas. We also we'll have coloring sheets available for people to decorate or to color and entertain yourselves. We have a winter concert series that'll be going on that kicks off on the 25th as well, partnering with different businesses in downtown to really highlight some of the local music. People love our summer concert series with Friday Lou, so let's bring it inside and not lose that fun through the holiday season. I'm going to forget stuff all of a sudden. We also have, for the big kids, on December 9th, we have the Waterloo's Bars of Christmas, formerly the 12 Bars of Christmas, but we're up to 14 bars. So we're just changing it to the Bars of Christmas, so we don't have to have a limit on it. But this will be a fun day. It's a self-guided pub crawl to help the community experience and visit some locations maybe they haven't been to, because we have several that haven't been on the event before, a couple brand new businesses. So we're excited to do this as a fundraiser for Main Street, but provide a day of fun for the community. And we're really excited to launch a new event this year, which is going to be called our Merry Movie Magic. And on Friday, December 22nd, from 5:30 to 8:30ish, we'll be over at the Cedar Valley Sportsplex, and we're going to be showing the Santa Claus. Santa's going to be making an appearance to say hi, and there'll be some crafts and some fun things to do. The concession stand will be open, and then we're going to have a big screen with the movie playing, and just really excited to kind of kick off that holiday weekend and Christmas break with all the families from the Cedar Valley. And then as part of our winter concert series on the 23rd, we are partnering with Jameson's, and we're bringing in some acts to sing holiday music. So from 6 to 8 on that Saturday, we will be at Jameson's, and we've got 3 different performers or acts. They're going to be doing sets of holiday music to get you in the spirit for Christmas Eve the next day. Let's see, we're partnering with Young Arena to host a holiday ice skating open skate. So they'll have Christmas music and hot cocoa going, and it'll just kind of be all sorts of fun. I know we love it. I think we were waiting on a time for a hockey practice schedule, so I don't have a time set on that one yet. But I mean, there's just 1 or 2 things that are going on with Winter Wonderloo.
Yeah. So I guess I apologize. This question was not on there, but since so much going on, do you get to like sleep? Do you get to?
I'm hoping to take a nap in January.
Just push through the rest.
I was like, if I can just get through the rest of the year, then I might get a nap coming up soon at the beginning of the year.
Perfect. Yeah. That is a ton. We'll link to pretty much everything. All of the event links that we can find. We'll put those in the episode description. So please take advantage. Yeah, this is again, ton of work put into this to kind of bring the community closer, and I really admire all that work by you and all the volunteers.
Thank you.
Yeah, so incredible, and I hope everyone watching or listening is able to make the time to be involved in some of the best festivities. You have so many options.
So many.
Yes. So thank you, Jessica. before we wrap up, tradition of the Book Drop podcast is we always end with 2 book recommendations from both the guest and the host. I do want to apologize to the listeners and viewers. I have not been giving book recommendations since I took over because I forgot that I'm supposed to. So today I will be giving book recommendations. But first, Jessica has 3 recommendations for us.
I mean, with everything I have going on, I have to read tons of books, right?
Of course.
So I have 3 that have just really stuck out to me over the past couple of years that I wanted to share. One work-related, one kind of just that book that got me, and one that is a surprising one that I was like, what? I liked this. So work related, there's a book called Walkable City, and it's just very interesting to read about some of the statistics and the importance of making your city walkable. Sometimes you have to read books for work and you're like, oh, this is going to be really boring. How do I stay awake? But it sucked me in. It was one of those I couldn't put down. I had to keep reading. I was like, can I miss this meeting for that book? So I definitely highly recommend it to anyone who has any interest in just kind of community development. But the book that definitely got me and sticks with me is Black Cake. And I believe it's Hulu, maybe, is doing a limited series with it. So highly recommend. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but the book was very, very good, and I learned a lot. And it definitely impacted me and just kind of made me think, too. And then the most surprising one, don't judge me.
Okay.
Jessica Simpson's biography.
Oh, okay.
You learned a lot about her life and kind of how she became who she is. And there were a lot of surprising things and just really made you think and evaluate things in your own life, too.
Yeah. When you started that sentence, I thought you were going to go Britney Spears, because that has been which if you are wondering, the Britney Spears memoir that just came out, we do have it here at the library. That one has been circulating a lot, but
I did listen to that one.
How was that?
I did listen to it. It was good. It was interesting. I would love to know more.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jessica Simpson definitely, it got me.
Yeah, I heard good things about that. Yeah, because that came out, I think, just earlier this year. Is that right? Or last year? Pretty recently.
It was actually, I think somewhere around 2020, 2021.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Again, time is
where to go.
Just consuming itself.
I can't believe it's Thanksgiving next week.
I know. The fact that we're almost done with the year is horrifying to me. But so I will start with my inaugural 2 recommendations, barring from when I recommended stuff as a guest. I'm going to go with 2 poetry books. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before. I probably have, but I'm a poet by trade. That's what I went to school for, what I did my master's for. So I am going to recommend 2 poetry books that I've really enjoyed fairly recently. The first one I was really late to. I think it came out 2 or 3 years ago now. But Natalie Diaz's Postcolonial love poem. Really, really great. I think one of the best poets we have around today. Our recent MacArthur Genius Grant recipient, I believe. One of the Genius Grants. I think there's more than one Genius. I don't know. Those confuse me. But anyway, really great poet. Really, really great stuff there. She was former. I don't remember if she was a professional basketball player, but she was either I think played professional basketball overseas or at the very least played at a high level in college. So you get like an interesting perspective from that, and then just so much else. Just a very singular, unique perspective that I can't recommend enough. Second one that I have is Floaters by Martín Espada, which came out last year as not as well, because I don't think that's when Postcolonial Love Poem came out, but Floaters by Martín Espada, which was the National Book Award winner for poetry in 2022. Martín Espada is a really great poet who has some ties to the Cedar Valley, actually. He is a contributing editor at the North American Review, which is housed at the University of Northern Iowa, has done readings here in Cedar Falls and Waterloo before, or here in the Cedar Valley, I should say. And again, fantastic poet, in more of the narrative poetry vein. So if you're kind of intimidated by poetry, I always recommend him because it's less of the like flowery language and it's more kind of not plot driven, wouldn't be the right word, but more naturally conversational, verse, conversational verse, and kind of just really I think, accessible while still being an incredibly just good and gifted poet. So there are my 2 recommendations. I'm going to try to remember to keep doing those on the rest of the episodes I host. But that brings us to the end of the show. So Jessica, thank you so much for joining us today. I know, as we've all seen, you're insanely busy, and I really appreciate you making the time to come on the show today. Is there anything you want to leave us with?
One, thank you for having me. It's always great to be able to tell the community what's going on in downtown, and just, I would say, make sure you're following the Main Street Waterloo Facebook page, because we're always sharing stuff about what the businesses have going on, other events in downtown, as well as what we have going on as an organization. And check out our website. There's a ton of information about all of the businesses and about the events that we host, as well as how to get involved. But yeah, we're always looking for volunteers and people to get involved. There's tons of different ways to get involved with our organization. It could be for volunteering to pour beer at an event, all the way to being on a planning committee or our board of directors. So we just love inviting the community to be a part, and we want to hear their voice and listen to them as we make decisions about the future of our organization and what downtown looks like.
Awesome. Yeah, that is all incredible. Yes, please do. If you have the capacity to, please get involved in whatever capacity works for you. We will drop those links in the episode description for the podcast. But otherwise, thank you, Jessica. Thank you all for listening and watching, and check out Winter Wonderloo.